Yes, I will take motivational speech.
Motivational speech. What does that do?
Gives the main thing is it's not a concentration spell, but it buffs a bunch of people to give temporary HP and advantage on wisdom saves.
Okay. How long does it last?
An hour.
Oh, wow. Okay. Concentration? That sounds like no.
No.
If someone wants to check the link, I think we're good to go.
I'll give it a peek. Actually, let someone else double check it. Right.
Then I lose the HP, so.
Yeah, the only thing I was going to talk to Nate, he can touch base with me anyway. So you have left the prison, and I'm going to retcon tiny bit because I didn't go back and listen to exactly what I said last time. But you are making a brief stopover in Luskin to pick up Amos, drop off Gorm, and that's about it. So you have an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours or whatever, not all day, basically. I do want to check that link real quick just to see. Yep, looks good to me.
All silent, so...
Yeah, of course. Well, there's a delay anyway. So when you disembark in Luskin and you head to the tavern that had a name, but I don't remember what it was. Varen is going with you too because he has to pick up his associate while you're here. And when you walk in, you notice that there's a lively music going on. There's cheering. And as you step through the front doors, you see Amos off to the side on a little bit of a makeshift stage or whatever. And he's got Timmy perched on his shoulder, and he's tossing little bits of what looks like raw meat up into the air. And Timmy's kind of leaping off and snatching him out of the sky and landing back on his shoulder, and everybody's cheering and clapping. You do notice, like I mentioned the last time, he does have a bunch of visible scars up and down his arms. And I think what I'm going to do...
I'll teach you to befriend a bloodthirsty vampire.
Right. Well, I was going to say, when I think we start playing again, I'm going to tell him that he has to permanently, in air quotes, reduce his hit points by 1, because every morning he has to give Timmy his daily dose. But if you kill something during the day and he lets Timmy feed on it, then that's like a week. He doesn't have to worry about feeding him. Because they suck 10 hit points out of something and then they're done. That's their fight. They're full and now they're done.
What if he bottles blood or contains blood in some way?
Then that would work. And when you're in a tavern or something, I'm sure with a little persuasion to the innkeep, you could get, when they're cooking some kind of meat that night, they could get the drippings for Timmy or whatnot. But if you're traveling in the wilderness and there's nothing around, he's going to be down a hit point because it is a tamed scourge. They have an intelligence of 2, whereas dogs and house cats have an intelligence of 3. So it's regular domesticated house pet kind of thing. And it is technically a wild animal. So as long as he's continuing to feed it, it is humoring him. But if he, steps out of line, it's going to revert to feral animal that needs food. And they only have 2 hit points to begin with, so you don't want it to get into a fight. It's not a combat pet. But since you guys have been gone for maybe 8 days at this point, I wasn't really keeping track of how many nights you rested, but it was 3 days out, 3 days back. He's had plenty of time to get it used to the idea that as long as it stays with him, it will continue to get a regular, steady diet. And so he's able to take it out in this tavern without people freaking out too much because it stays within his sphere. He's also, I'm going to take the liberty and say you can see a tiny little rope tied to one of its feet that's like tethered to his shoulder or something like that. So if it tries to fly, it can't get very far. But in the time that you're watching it, it's more of a novelty as he tosses food up to it. And I don't remember what his instrument of choice is or whatever, but he's got a little song thing going on. He's entertaining the tavern and keeping busy. And Gunnar, you notice your three kinsmen are getting right along with it. In fact, Leaf is really cheering him on. He's like, "Little buddy, get it! Yeah!" But Ingrid is the first to notice as you walk into the tavern, and she kind of nudges Leaf a little bit. And when he turns and spots you, Gunnar, there's this, dark cloud over his face as he scowls. But then, as they're staring at you, Gorm pushes past, and they both see him, and they just throw their chairs back, and they come running. It's like, "Father, you live!" And of course, Amos stops playing when this starts happening, and just kind of an awkward atmosphere falls over the tavern. And as Gorm looks around and sees everyone looking at him, he puts his arms around both of his kids and kind of guides them up into this corner area. And you just see these two quickly scurry away out of the way. Like, you can just imagine the look you're not able to see at the moment. As the four of them... Where did they go? Oh, here he is. There they are. They take their little spots in the corner. Varen immediately heads over to the bartender. You don't really know what they're talking about. And as the room, chatter starts to happen again, Amos announces that he's taking a break and comes to join you with little Timmy. Actions. Have a seat, have a drink.
I'm gonna go to the bar.
Alrighty. This guy comes over, recognizes you. He points to you. Ale?
Elven wine.
You got it. You have to give me a second. He goes in the back room. And comes back with a very fancy fluted bottle, purple glass. Pulls the cork off, and you just see little holographic flower petals appear out of it. Not really, but but you can smell the aromatics. And he pours out a glass and hands it to you.
All right, I say you can leave the bottle.
Ah. Can I see the color of your coin?
How much?
For that? For the whole bottle? You keeping the glass, or are you going to give it back when you're done?
I'll give the glass back.
All right. 5 silver then.
Oh, is that all?
That's all.
All right. Yeah, no
The
problem.
bottle's worth more than the wine.
No problem. Here, have 3 silver as a tip.
Oh, you're so kind and generous. He leans in. He goes, "You're with Amos, right?"
I wasn't here.
No. Are you staying long, or are you on your way out?
I think we're on our way out. We're done our business.
Thank God.
Why?
I don't know. Something about his little animal friend kind of gives me the willies.
Oh, well, I mean, it is a sturge.
Yeah, is that what it's called? Whatever it is, it's creeping me out. But he brings in the customers, so it's kind of hard to complain. But anyway, enjoy your drink. If you're staying for dinner, we got stew on the burner out back. It's gonna be great.
Oh, is there a name to this stew, or is it just stew?
It's beef stew.
Beef.
It's beef stew. EJ will laugh. She'll get it. For some reason, I couldn't spell beef when I was writing on the shopping list yesterday. I wrote BFF. BEFF. Get some Beth when you're out, I guess. Like, leave me alone. I knew it had a double letter in it. I just got the wrong one. It's Beth Stew. What are you doing, Gunnar? Specifically, you.
I suppose I'll kind of side-eye look to see if my kinsmen are kind of looking at me and expecting me, or if they want some privacy first.
Make a perception roll with advantage, please.
Let's see how badly I go this. Oh.
All right. Of the four of them, you notice that Arvid glances over at you with like a he'll give you a nod anytime he sees that you're looking in the direction, just like a good job kind of a nod, not a come here, but just a out of respect nod. Gorm and Leaf seem to be in a heated argument of some kind and don't really look in your direction at all. But you do catch Ingrid looking in your direction quite a lot. Like every time you look in that direction, you catch her looking, but then she looks away real quick.
Mm. I've got to do that since there's no stone in it. Just gonna send some gamma rays her way. Or sending, or not sending, a message and kind of say to her, should I come over there, or is it a bad time?
When you send the message, the look on her face is like, where's that coming from?
It's for me, Gunnar. You can reply, what is it they call it? Telepathically?
She doesn't say anything in your head because, like, maybe she doesn't know to think it versus if she can say it out loud or whatever, but you see that she excuses herself from the table and comes toward you, or comes toward the general area of the room. Not like she's coming beeline for you, but she's maybe sort of heading for the bar. But she kind of gestures you with her head to come over. Move this guy over.
Well, I suppose I'll head on over. Again, not beelining, but kind of
Right, just sauntering.
Swerving between patrons.
When she walks over, you don't see her say anything to the bartender, but he immediately pours out a big frothy ale and hands it to her. And she takes it. And as she sees that you're coming over, she tells him, "Get him another one for my friend here." And he goes over, pours another one out, and hands it to you. She slides over next to the bar, lets you come in. She says, "It's good to see you have returned, Gunnar. It looks like you were successful."
It appears so. In both, well, the less said, the better, but, yes, I believe we were. It was, well, I must thank my companions for their invaluable aid.
Father does not seem to be worse for wear. He has complained that he doesn't have any of his material items, his things that were taken from him. And he makes it sound like it was you and your friends forcing him to leave immediately when he wanted to go get his stuff, but I'm sure he's just blowing smoke. It is a good thing that you've done for us. She kind of takes your hand. She's like, I could probably put in a good word if you want to come back to the tribe.
Well, I do not think I can yet. There is still much I must do, and, well, I still do not believe I am worthy, but as well, I believe there is much I can learn. It is one thing to learn the stories of the honored ancestors, but it is quite another to understand them as you experience things, and that, with the things I have seen, things you would not believe. Ships that fly on lightning. Ships that fly. The realm of the woods of the fairies. There is much I must do before I return, but...
You see a look in her eye like she doesn't believe half the things you're telling her, like you're just making stuff up to sound important. And it's almost like a condescending look, like really, you don't have to make this stuff up to talk to me, whatever. But she doesn't say any of that. She says, I understand, Boner. You have a larger place in the world now, it seems, to spend time with us, lowborn folk.
I would not say that. Rather, I would reverse that. I still believe I am not yet worthy. There is more I must do, I must prove myself. If I am to be called of the bear tribe.
From what I've seen of, well, from Amos, and from we've talked. She kind of gives you this sly kind of look. She says, I've heard about some of your exploits, Gunner. You sell yourself short, I think.
Well, you are too kind, Ingrid. But someday, God's willing, perhaps I can return. If the tribe would have me, of course.
I think they will. I think for all of his bluster, I think Father was rather impressed.
Well,
are you staying in town, or are you leaving soon?
I'm glad. Well, sadly, I must leave shortly, I believe.
Not spending the night, then.
Well, that was not my plan, at least. No, I don't believe.
Varen did say you have like an hour or two before he wants to set sail for Neverwinter, so...
Ah, okay. Yes, I must take the ship back to Neverwinter. I have a bit of a schedule to keep, you might say.
You're a busy man, Connor. Might I caution you of your friend's new pet? I know he calls him Timmy, but he could call him Bitey. And she kind of points at a little scar on her arm.
Well, so it would seem. Yes, it does not seem that tame or healthy, but compared with other things we see, it is mostly harmless. Mostly.
Make a perception with disadvantage. I know you can see the token move, but I'm thinking if Gunner's paying attention.
You're in backstab.
So she's got your attention, you got her attention, whatever, you're kind of focused, and so you don't hear Leif walking behind you, but you do feel his meaty arm on your shoulder at one point. And he kind of spins you to face him. And he's like, Gunnar! Because you never actually spoke to him last time either, I don't think. He was kind of like drunk up at the time. He spins you around, locks eyes with you.
Gunnar kind of jumps a bit. Leaf! Hello!
He claps his other hand on your other shoulder. They're like dwarfing your shoulders. Even though you're a big guy, he's like just all muscle. It's like a Thor-looking guy. He grins, and just for a moment, you think you're about to get a headbutt. And he says, Gunnar! You know, I never liked you. But today I will make an exception. And he turns to the room and he shouts, To Gunnar! My former tribesman! People in the room kind of just look like what? But some of them, half-heartedly raise whatever they've got for a glass at the moment, and then they go back to whatever conversation they're having. And Ingrid's kind of, you hear her, under her breath, say, maybe future tribesmen. And Leaf, I guess he must have put the mug down when he grabbed your shoulder, because he picks it up, holds it up, downs the whole thing in one big gulp, slams the glass down. He says, That's Gunnar, my friend, is all you're going to get from me. And he spins you back around, and he goes, Ingrid, don't waste too much time on him. He did a good thing for us, but remember who you're talking to. And then he kind of walks back to the table, and she just kind of puts her head in her hands, like, Gunnar, please don't pay attention to him.
Well, I don't blame him, but...
Well, you should. And then it goes to awkward silence.
Well... not to make it more awkward, but...
That's what you're good at. Yeah.
Well, he's not the one who got my sister killed that day. But...
God, that was a long time ago. You're not going to bring her back by worrying about it.
That is true. And that is... Well, there is not a day I don't wish it hadn't been me. There's no... It won't do any good, so... I suppose all I can do is... try to become... someone worth her having saved.
At that moment, you hear Gorm shout out, Ingrid! Get over here! Gunnar, you too! She says, oh, we don't keep Father waiting. And she heads over to the table. She doesn't sit down, she kind of stands at the end of the table. He says, Gunnar, Leif has something he wants to say. And he looks at his son, and Leif kind of looks at you, and he goes, I apologize for being rude.
Ooh, that is quite all right. I understand. Well, I have something to apologize for myself that I never did, though the one I truly owe it to is no longer with us. But
Gorm stands up. He steps in front of you. He says, Gunnar, has anyone ever told you to talk too much?
All the time!
You can't hear this. You're in the
Yes, they have, and perhaps that's why I am told.
He leans in. He says, I used to say that the wrong Bjorn Feldinson died that night. I wonder if perhaps I was too hasty in my judgments. You're proving yourself to be a real bear clansman.
Well,
However, and he puts his finger up before you start talking. Contrary to whatever my daughter has said to you, you are not welcome at the tribe just yet. Do not pack your things. You're not traveling with us. You have a lot more growing to do, Gunnar, but you have made a good first step. And I do, as much as it pains me to admit, owe you my freedom. And he looks over at the other two men at the table and he goes, no, I would have escaped on my own soon. But the assistance was appreciated.
Well, I'm glad to help, and I agree I have much to learn, so I will travel more and see if I can become worthy of the name.
He looks at Ingrid, he says, and perhaps our tribes will be united after all.
Perhaps.
The rest of you can see the hand going right over Gunner's head. It would not go over my head, I would catch it. She turns a little red, and then goes to sit down. He says, we leave on the morrow, Gunnar. If you are still here when we leave, then we will say our goodbyes. But I sense you were moving on this evening.
Yes, sadly I leave within the hour, perhaps sooner. So I must say my goodbyes here.
You have found yourself a good tribe.
Thank you. I agree.
Keep growing as a person. And he kind of leans in a little bit, keeps his voice down and says, I will take what I have learned from this instance and be a bit more open-minded towards you and your family. Your parents will be well tended to, Gunnar.
Thank you. Thank you.
He kind of takes your arm so that you're like clasping each other's forearms. You know that man handshake you always. big tough man handshake. He kind of clasps it tight. And he says, the blood of the bear tribe lives on. And will overcome, or some other phrase that is very, important to your people or whatever kind of thing. Which is just like another show of respect. And he gives you a slight bow.
Always. I will make sure I can earn it.
And then he sits back down and kind of, you get you're dismissed kind of treatment. Arvid gives you whatever bear tribe salute at range kind of thing. It wouldn't be like this, but you know what I mean? Just a thumbs up, well done. But doesn't say a word.
I give him a no.
Okay, at least systems a little chastised by being scolded for embarrassing you or whatever. Now, I assume the rest of you have been filling us in on the briefest recap of what he missed.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to go over and see him and let him know what's been happening.
And after a while, you see Varen and Bethra, and she's got a couple duffel bags full of stuff. And they're heading for the door. And as they get close to the door, Varen says, "All right, folks, boat's leaving. If you're still coming." If you want to get paid.
Well, I certainly do.
And with that, you leave Luskin. You go back aboard the ship, and it sails for another 3 or 4 days down the coast to Neverwinter. It's a bit choppy seas, so it takes a little bit longer than the captain would have liked. And they have to go out further from shore to avoid the rougher coral shoals and shit. But you get back to Neverwinter. Let's do the Sword Coast map. This is way zoomed in. Or zoomed out. When you get to Neverwinter, Varen takes his leave. He says, "I have to go check in with my team at Gauntlet Rim. But stay here in Neverwinter and wait for our return. If you still have, if you'd like, I'll hold on to that sending stone. We can stay in touch, but otherwise, I should be back in less than a week's time. If you're willing to hang tight." And since you have no other missions at the moment, he takes off. There's a small contingent of dwarves you're waiting for, and they've got mounts ready, so he's going to try to make it as quick as possible. Because of the fact that you're all bards, I'm going to say not only do you not have to worry about marking off how much money you spend for lodging, but I'm going to say as a group you make another 50 gold while you wait for word. And you do. Well, let's see. Out of the 4 of you, I'll say Euryxius. One of these early mornings when you get up, you get a sending message. It's hard to recognize the voice, but the message is, "Good job on your operation. Extraction coming soon. Varen should be back with your reward before that time."
Okay.
And that same day, whoever has the other sending stone, I assume you let Varen keep his or keep going for now, right?
Yeah. Whoever
has the other sending stone gets a message from him saying very excitedly, "We're in! I'm on my way back with your reward as soon as I can." Oh, you have the sending stone too?
I think I do, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, I'll let the others know.
So after a brief wait, a couple more days, Varen arrives. And he actually sends Bethra to the inn you're at and asks you to meet him outside the city limits, North Gate. So you gather the group together and head out there. I assume. Mm-hmm. And this is where he takes care of loose ends. No, I'm kidding. You see a couple. There's like a dozen dwarves. Most of them armored up. Half a dozen horses. And he waves and smiles and he gestures you over and says, "Come! I have your reward." And he carefully unlimbers a couple big bags. And he's like, I hope you have a bag of holding or some other way to carry all this.
We can go over.
Yes, you have like a purse of holding. And you are given. And he actually waits and helps you count it out to make sure you know exactly how much you've got. There is 2,100 copper pieces. There's yeah, I know.
I'll do it.
Hang on.
You have the hard treasure somewhere too. Party equipment in there.
And then someone right.
As fast as you say it.
That's why I'm saying it slow. So it's 2,100 copper. There's 3,000 silver. 500 gold. And 14 bloodstones that are worth 50 gold each. He says, in addition, I have 6 items. But we're prepared to let you choose 3 of them.
Wow!
From this list. And he presents to you, in no particular order, a cap of water breathing, dust of disappearance, gem of brightness, mithril armor, I'm assuming breastplate. It doesn't say, so I can negotiate for what kind of armor you want. Potion of lightning resistance, or slippers of spider climbing. So out of those 6, as a party, you can keep 3 of them. Talk amongst yourselves, he says. No hurry.
I think that slippers of spider climbing is a good choice. Probably the armor.
Yeah, the armor, if it's plate mail, because I believe the main thing is it doesn't give disadvantage on stealth checks, which, what is it? Breastplates don't anyway.
Right, yeah, let me look. I know it's an armor type. Oh, I have to Google it. Let me see. Mithril armor. If it normally imposes disadvantage, it doesn't require that. Or if it requires a strength, minimum strength, it doesn't require that either. I will say that you can get mithril chainmail.
Okay.
Which would be a 16 AC. So the splint is better, but that's what he has. Splint's better, but the splint doesn't disadvantage on stealth, which the mithril wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have scale, right? Not splint?
I have flint now because of
right.
head.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was splint or scale.
And the skill that he is using.
Which is also disadvantage on stealth.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's the only medium that has... Oh, no, half plate also has disadvantage on stealth.
I think he has a feat that cancels that out, though. I think.
Right.
Medium armor master?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So, slippers of spider climbing. Alright. We know what the mithril armor does. The gem of brightness is basically just a torch that rides along beside you, I think. Oh, no, that's a drift globe. Gem of brightness, you have to actually have to hold it. But it's the same idea. Cap of water breathing, self-explanatory. Potion of lightning resistance, self-explanatory. Dust of disappearance, I had to look it up. It's one use, but it'll render everything within a 10-foot, or everyone within a 10-foot radius invisible for 2d4 minutes, I think. So it's one use, but it's a good clinch moment item kind of thing.
Yeah, you know, when the, say, museum cameras start around and...
Something like that.
So the thing is, we are taking the mithril armor, the boots of spider climb, and the other thing.
I don't think you decided on the mithril armor yet.
Oh, okay. Because, like, the other three, I guess they're kind of not special enough to want.
They could be.
I don't know.
I just think we'll get more use out of things that aren't one-use items.
Mm-hmm.
So potions and the dust of disappearance is, I mean, they're useful, but the other things might get more use out of.
I honestly think the gem of brightness might get more use than the cap of water breathing.
Yeah, that could come in handy, but it's very situational.
The water breathing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure none of us wants to be the next person to fall off the boat, you know, but...
How many of us have
Does
night vision?
anyone?
I think just Ryan.
Does anyone have light?
Exactly. So, gem of brightness.
I don't think light is a bard spell or cantrip.
I have dancing lights.
I have light.
Okay.
Are you? Okay. Well, if you have
I
light,
might have used it once already, actually.
we might not need the gem of brightness then.
Unless we need two sources, because if you're the only one that can see in the dark.
Nate can too, because he's an elf. I forgot about that. This is 3 humans that can't.
Not many humans for once.
Right?
3 humans.
Oh, it does more than that.
Who's I'm a human. Chris is a human. Who's the third human?
Tina's human.
Oh, I thought you were a tiefling.
She's got purple hair, but... no, your sister's the only tiefling.
I mean, you don't have to flirt with somebody to be the same gender or species.
You don't have to be the same species to flirt, yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
So the gem of brightness has 50 charges.
I like the reverse version.
I prefer somebody to be the same gender.
Those would be a human, so I have to flirt with you first.
I'm trying to type while I'm listening to you guys, and it's like, screwed me up.
So, gem of brightness, 50 charges. You can utter a command word, it'll shed a bright light in a 30-foot radius and a dim light for an additional 30 feet. That doesn't use a charge. The second command word uses 1 charge. It fires a brilliant beam of light at one creature you can see within 60 feet, must succeed on a DC 15 con save or become blinded for a minute. It can repeat the save at the end of its turns and any effect on itself on a success. Third command word expends 5 charges, causes it to flare with blinding light in a 30-foot cone originating from it. Each creature in the cone must make a saving throw as if struck by the beam created with the second command word. It's actually pretty good. I say we take that.
And they recharge.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does it recharge?
No, while the gem's charges are expended, the gem becomes a non-magical jewel worth 50 GP. Well, yeah, once we're done with it, we can sell it for 50 gold.
There you go, make a profit.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're definitely taking the boots, right? Or the stickers, I mean? So I'll add that to your journals.
Those are comfy.
Are you grabbing the gem?
Are we?
I say that or the dust.
This powder resembles very fine sand. There's enough of it for one use. When you use an action to throw the dust into the air, you and each creature within 10 feet of you become invisible for 2d4 minutes.
Use it for an oh shit moment.
Right when we are 100% getting caught.
We could also use the gem as well for the same purpose.
Just blind somebody and take off. Yep. Flashbang.
Yeah. I'd say the gem.
I do too.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
And
So that's 2 out of the 3.
There's the gem.
Somebody want the armor?
Gunner's considering it.
Yeah. I think I vote for the armor. I'm not personally thinking I'm wearing it. I think we should give it to the gunner.
Yeah, it would. It would help. I mean, I really what I need is mithril plate mail, but this is still a step up for my stealth armor.
What would it get? Is it same armor class or would it go higher?
Currently I have studded leather, so I would be AC.
Oh, for your stealth armor.
Or 14 with it, so.
Okay. So you have 2 different armors you bounce between, depending on if you can be stealthy or not.
That said, with money I could get a breastplate that would give me effectively the same effects as the mithril chainmail armor.
How much does that cost? You are in a big city. I was just going to say, you're in a big city. I was going to give you the option to spend some of the money that you just made after you're done talking to Baron.
That said, do we really want any of the other gear? And do we really want to spend any of that money?
How much do you guys have overall? You got some money?
Puts us at about 1,000 in party treasure.
Well, I can save changes and you guys can look at what we got so far.
Oh,
Yeah, 997 gold,
Yeah, and some gems.
3,000 silver.
It was 14 bloodstones, not just 4.
Oh, you're right. I have it written out as 14.
So that's like 700 gold right there.
I haven't added the slippers of spider climbing yet, and we're still discussing whether or not we want what the third thing is.
Right.
Being mithril, it doesn't really have to stay with any one of us for too long either. It could go back into
Well, it's just heavy armor. I think Gunner's the only one who could wear it anyway. It just happens to be light. Those 6 pieces of jewelry in the party treasure, those are worth 100 gold each. I have it in my notes, so I'm just going to assume you have it appraised at some point.
Yeah, we might as well sell off all this loot stuff while we're here.
Well, decide what your third item is, and then we can deal with shopping montage. You can do it in a montage.
Now, I wonder if I'd be able to find mithril plate and sigil, and for how much.
You can find anything in sigil.
Probably for a lot more than what we have to spend.
Probably.
Perhaps you could take the mithril chainmail and have them melt it down and make you some plate.
Good point. Would probably need more, but...
Well, you could at least maybe get a breastplate out of it.
Sure.
It might just you might just take the mithril and knock that off the cost of the other stuff. I'm trying to find out what the costs are on these stupid...
Yeah, there's no cost in the DMG.
No, but there's...
Yeah, I know. I was just...
I'm on that Kassoon website, but... It's... not searchable for some reason. Maybe I spelled it wrong. Because it's AL, I always get it wrong. Yep, mithril armor, okay. It's weird because it's just the price of the mithril. It's not broken down by what type of item you're getting made.
Yeah.
You're looking for like full plate?
Yeah.
Jesus, that's probably like 20,000 gold.
Plate by itself is already expensive, I think, right?
Yeah.
1,500.
Yeah.
1,500? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah, so if you were buying a mithril set of that, yeah. That's not going to be cheap, even close. Versus a mithril, let's see, what is it?
I'm seeing something here
Chainmail
that
is
says
75.
I think something here that says mithril armor is worth between 101 and 500 GP plus the base cost of the type of armor.
Yeah, that would make sense. Well, it's 800 for mithril, just flat mithril armor when you Google the price of it. So if that's 800 on top of the cost, then it's still, you're looking at 2,300 gold pieces to buy mithril plate. That seems legitimately fair. If not magical, it's just heavy, or just light. And that's if you can find a place that has it.
Okay. Well, if nobody else has opinions, I'll go for the mithril chain.
That's fine with me.
Mithril chain it is.
Alright, mithril chain.
I'm gonna also write that down in the party treasure because
It's chainmail, not chain shirt.
we need to know everything we got.
Yeah.
Well, then it's not going to be put it on my thing, so it's...
So that it doesn't trigger disadvantage or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. All right. Well, then, Varen will thank you all profusely for your services to the Dwarven cause, and wishes you luck in your endeavors with your employer. He says he got in touch with the vault, and they told him that you were some of their highest rated agents, and to always use the Golden Vault for all your heist and infiltration needs.
Like you have a business card?
Yeah. But he doesn't know anything about your extraction or who's coming or what. Didn't seem to know that you're not necessarily from around here. And then Amos goes, ow!
Let that thing go, man. You might have rabies for all you know.
Or herpes.
Right.
And then the caravan heads off back up the high road toward the Neverwinter Wood and Gauntlgrim. And you can step back into Neverwinter and wait for your extraction. I assume that you would have let them know when they messaged you which inn you were at, so they would know where to find you. But Neverwinter is a decent-sized city. It is undergoing some repairs after a semi-recent volcano eruption in the last decade or two. But it is still a well-populated and functional city, and there are magic shops because it is a freaking Forgotten Realms. So I have generated a random magic shop. And most of this stuff's probably out of your price range, but who knows? You can, if you want, convert all those gems and art objects and whatever into gold directly, just to make it easier in your party treasure. Or you could wait to get back to Sigil if you want to spend gold there.
We can check out the magic shop and see what there is.
What kind of stuff are you looking for?
I don't know. I was just going to browse.
Light crossbow, padded leather, adamantine breastplate, ring of resistance, poison. I wonder if I can just make a... Ooh, share this shop. Let's see. No, I want to post it. Screw it.
You know what? I do need a ranged weapon, apparently. Doesn't look like I have one.
Alright, well, so according to this random list, you walk into a nice little random magic shop, and you see... If you have detect magic, you know this place is like warded like up the wazoo. There's no walking out with anything, but there are display shelves. There is a +1 light crossbow that is over 1,000 gold. +2 padded leather, which is very expensive. It's got a 6,000 gold price tag. I mean, it's +2. It goes up exponentially past +1. Adamantine breastplate. I'm not exactly sure what adamantine does. I think it might make you crit resistant, but I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Amethyst ring of resistance to poison. Amulet of proof against detection and location. Oh, that is 20 grand.
That's a nicer one.
It is a nice one. It is expensive. Dust of dryness.
You can have all my copper. I mean,
Mariner's padded leather. Ooh, mithril ring mail.
how
that
different
is
is
not-
that from chainmail?
It's worse.
Is it worse? Okay, that's why it's only 830. Morning Star
Yeah,
of
it's a
Warning.
56.
That's expensive. Oil of etherealness.
How does this place stay in business?
An onyx dog. I assume that's a figurine of wondrous power. Plate armor of lightning resistance. And then a bunch of scrolls. But they're cheap. Arms of FUBAR, Calm Emotions, Dancy Macabre.
We don't need 2 spells of FUBAR.
Divine Favor, Eldritch Blast, Far Step, Firebolt, Light, Magic Missile, Mold Earth, Produce Flame, Shield of Faith, Spirit Guardians, Thunderclap. Then there is
I have
a
that
vicious. Then there's a vicious battle axe and a vicious warhammer.
What's so vicious about him?
I don't know. When you roll a 20, the target takes an extra 7 damage. Really? Like 7 specifically?
Just flat 7? That's weird.
That's what it says when I click on it. Let me look up in the compendium. Vicious.
It taunts you.
Oh, 2d6.
Okay. So
That
the
makes more
average. Yeah.
Well, I don't think I need anything here.
Well, the vicious battle axe is 1d8 additional. And the vicious warhammer is probably similar. Yeah, 1d10 for the...
It looks very blunt.
Oh, secondary damage. I
so
see.
blunt that it does extra damage.
Yeah. It's got little studs
Oops.
in it. So
I didn't mean to do that. Don't pay
stabs.
attention.
You checking to see if you're proficient? You are.
No, I am. I clicked on my proficiency.
Yeah, light crossbow is 1,030 gold pieces.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm gonna go to a mundane shop and buy like a normal ranged weapon.
Just a standard one. Okay. Whatever they cost in the player's handbook, that's how much it costs here in Neverwinter. You can. There seems to be price fixing, so no one hikes up the rates.
Yeah, what do you think this is? Water deep?
Yeah. So another 2 days passes, and sorry, I'm looking something up. You are hanging out in the bar that night, whatever, sitting around, playing some music and having food and making friends with the locals and maybe sleeping with some of them in some people's cases. And
Who could you be referring to?
I don't know. And those of you who are
What are we supposed to do being here doing nothing?
in the common area see Humboldt come walking through the doors. He's the guy that originally pickpocketed from you to make you chase him to go back to that warehouse where you met the dragon eventually. He's kind of like a handler, but not really. He's more like a warden between you and the dragon himself. And he looks very awkward and out of place here. Just like he's not used to being not in sigil. Like he's looking up and he's seeing sky instead of seeing buildings across the way. It's
The colors of his clothing are just a little too bright.
yeah, he just looks out of place, and his posture and body language is definitely screaming out of place. But when he sees you in the bar, he visibly relaxed, and he heads straight over. He's got a bag. Looks like a garment bag. And he kind of takes a seat next to you, and he says, I'm supposed to bring you back to Sigil, but I figured I could give you this while we're here. It's just payment for the job. He opens it up, and he reaches in, and his arm disappears down to the elbow, or to the shoulder. He's fishing around in the bag that's not deep enough for his shoulder. And he comes up with a staff.
Holding.
And he says, I don't know who wants this, but it is a staff of healing. Which I'm going to have to grab from a different source book. Which I think I can grab it from Forgotten Realms. I should have done this earlier.
Can we cut it in half and make a cane of healing?
No, then it would be a quarterstaff of healing.
Oh. Oh, come on, where are you? I don't want to add the entire DMG to this game. Staff of healing. There it is. So that should be... Well, it should be in the treasure page. I'll move it in a second. But there it is.
It's got a totem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know where these images come from. I'm guessing from the player, from the DMG.
Well, we saw some of those in the forest.
All right, let's see. Staff. And then he reaches back into the bag and he pulls out a set of clothing. It looks like a performance style outfit, the kind you'd wear on stage. Got a few little tassels and loops where you can hang decorations and whatnot. But it's got a logo for the Pretty Little Liars on the front.
Aww.
And he has a couple like decals that you can put on your instruments if you want. He's like, yeah, the top brass thought it'd be nice to let you guys look the part. Since you're traveling as a band, you might as well have a uniform. This is yours too, he says, and he hands you the whole garment bag, which is a garment bag of holding.
Nice.
Much like your purse of holding. It just looks like a standard garment bag that you probably carry around as a band with your uniforms in it. It just happens to hold
There better be
all
Devo style helmets.
Yeah. He says, I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you've paid for tonight or whatever, but I'd really like to get back to the cage. I don't know about you, Burks, but I'd like to get back to the cage. There we go.
I'm assuming that's slang for sigil.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did put the whole handout for sigil slang somewhere in the...
Yeah, I didn't memorize
Oh yeah, it's there. I don't think anybody memorized it.
What? You didn't memorize it?
There's a lot.
Yeah, there is. I wonder if the new book even has all that stuff. I bet it does. And without further ado, he leads you to, just a weird secluded corner or just some random archway or something like that, and he pulls out a tchotchke-looking item and taps the side of the door frame and says a few magic words, and the door starts shimmering weird. And he goes, "All right, after you."
All right, you go in.
You hop through as if it was just a normal doorway, and sure enough, you pop back out in a twisting, weird sigil-style street. You look up and you see the telltale sign of the other buildings rolling in over you on the ceiling and whatnot. And he says, "As far as I know, there's no more ops for a little while. So, welcome back."
Wow, this map is humongous.
I know, it really is. I'm saying that
Why is there two different levels?
I think that where the top one ends on the right resumes on the left side of the bottom one.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The colors match up.
Yeah. And I'm going to say that the Bard College is on the left-hand side of the upper map.
Shift ping, shift ping.
Shift ping, like somewhere up around here. The different buildings. Is there a specific magic item that you want to shop for? Sigil would be a better place to find it. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take. And how much markup I decide to...
No, but I have a
Jack.
bar I want to go to.
You do?
Yes, it's called the Square Peg.
Hmm.
It's a Modron.
Okay. Is it really in the...
No, I just made it up.
Okay, because it sounds about right.
I say Majesty's going to be seducing Modrons now.
Yeah,
Here we
no.
go.
Oh, yeah!
I was going to say Majesty has a Modron fetish.
I love your angles. They're so right.
They're so orderly and lawful.
If I were the triangle Modron, it's like, oh, you're cute.
Why
It's nice to
am
have a
I
hand
with,
crossbows from.
As long as they're not obtuse, right?
Yeah.
why am I with a party of boys again?
That's okay. You probably prefer slods.
Ugh. Potato slot? Macaroni slot?
Your mom is a slut.
Tuna slod. Caesar slod.
He's got that little feathered thing, you know?
Cobb.
Laurel, whatever they call it. Wedge slot.
Bean squad.
Toss slot?
Okay.
Pretty sure that's a verb.
He's like cold blood.
No, Splurge Blood.
Oh, yeah. All right. Did you say you were looking for something to buy, Brian? Besides the mundane stuff?
No, I bought some mundane hand crossbows warrior Neverwinter, and I took the money off my sheet.
All right. Do any of these magic items that you got require attunement?
The spider climb slippers do, I noticed.
Okay. The gem does not, and I don't want to think the staff
is.
All of us?
Oh, very give you your summoning stuff. Sending things back to.
That's why we have the rope of climbing, because we all suck.
Alright, the staff of healing requires attunement by a bard, cleric, or druid as well.
Bard cleric.
Bard cleric, yes. 10 charges, so it can cast Cure Wounds, Lesser Restoration, Mass Cure Wounds, and it does regain staff charges, but if you expend the last charge, then there's a chance that it will disappear forever. So, I'm going to figure out who has that.
It, right?
Yes.
But can we? If you attune it, can you keep it in the bag of holding?
Yeah, I think so. You don't have to carry it with you, but you do have to have the one person who's attuned to it has to be the one who uses it.
Right. I mean, I'll attune to it, but I don't really feel like carrying it.
That's fine with me.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's... Is it a full-size, like a walking staff? I guess it would be, wouldn't it?
Otherwise,
The image kind of looks more like a... Yeah, the image kind of looks more like a rug, but... Yeah, the only problem with you not carrying it is if you get into a fight and it's in somebody else's inventory and you need to get it, it's out of reach. But... Who's got the slippers attuned?
That's the question. I'd say, so climbing is what, athletics check?
Yes, strength-based.
I think whoever has the worst strength should probably do it.
14.
I have a 14 too.
Yeah, but who has the highest stealth?
With spider climbing, it's not a...
I know, but
in case you want to creep along the ceiling and sneak up on something?
I have a plus 10.
I say.
I have a dex of 18.
Your climbing speed equal to your walking speed, which means you don't have to make rolls to climb.
Mm-hmm.
I say Euryxes gets the. Or Tegan.
What does the rope do that you guys have?
Rope climbing?
Rope climbing, yeah.
Oh.
You probably say a command word and it probably just stays. I don't know. That's my guess.
I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna add it to the game just like I added the staff. If I can find it.
You are stated under treasure.
I did the rope climbing?
60-foot length of silk rope weighs 3 pounds and can hold up to 3,000 pounds.
Oh, I've got it.
If you tell the rope to knot, a large knot appears. At one
Rope, could you not? Could you just not?
As a bonus action, you can command a
Oh,
to
that's
explore
why.
a destination.
Okay.
Yeah, use an action to speak the command word.
Okay, everything else is in alphabetical order. Like every magic item in this adventure is in here. So I was looking under ours and not at the very bottom.
Yeah, I think that totem part is just the head of the staff.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because the rest of the staff is just boring looking.
All right.
I mean, I'll take the slippers. I could get into some pretty good melee situations with that.
I'm glad you're doing with melee situations.
Melee. Because
Most
most of you don't do melee as much as me and Gunnar.
That is a good point.
True, when the only ranged weapon I have is Eldritch Blast.
But that's a pretty good ranged weapon.
I was going to say there is a point to be made for giving it to a ranged person with good stealth, because then they can just stand on the ceiling out of range of people. But
True.
But yeah, I might vote for whoever has the best stealth so that they can be a really effective recon.
Well, like I said, I have a plus 10. I don't know if anyone has higher than that.
Nope.
Plus 10, is that counting your stealth points and your dexterity bonus?
Yeah, my stealth plus 10.
Nice.
Right. You guys don't have
I have a
phrases. That's not a hard spell.
Yeah, that's not. Oh, shit.
You have a plus 7.
Well, yeah, but no wonder I only rolled a 9.
Wow, heavy armor. What are you wearing for armor?
It's not heavy.
Oh no! I already said, yeah, I'm the one who told you that.
I have medium armor master, so that shouldn't even be there.
So it shouldn't do it. Yeah, a lot of those feats don't actually get registered for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean,
So why does the computer think it's heavy armor when it's light?
because it's light armor that causes disadvantage on stealth, so it's factored in. There's probably some way to flag it to not do that.
I looked in the settings, I don't see anything.
Maybe in the actual armor item itself. If you unlock it and go to the settings.
pretty. Let's see.
I bet you that's it.
Yeah. Alright. Well, if you have no other actions, you go back to school and check in, and because you have your dorm rooms and your whatnot. Not that you're actively students anymore, but you go about your regular routines and you meet up with your various heads of the colleges and wait for your next operation to come in. And eventually it does. When...
Here we go, I fixed it.
Okay, so was it in the actual item?
It was in the items. It has descriptors of what is stealth disadvantage. If you delete that, then that takes care of it.
Alright, so you're coming back from class one night, Tegan, and you see, as you open up the door to your dormitory room or whatever, there's a small envelope on the other side of the door. It's like a slit under your door. And inside, you find a note, and you find a key. And the key looks like this. And the note says, when you've gathered your party, rendezvous with Humboldt. Yes.
When you I don't know, I like this one.
Do you gather the party before entering fourth?
I venture first without the party.
No, don't venture first.
Venture first.
Again, for the sense of expediency, you gather the party and you take the music box out and pop in the key. The lid pops open, and a soothing voice says the following. Greetings, operatives. We have learned the swift-nibbling town of Little Lockford needs your help. Tixie Topworth, once entrusted with the town's security, has turned the town's clockwork automatons against the populace. This quest, should you choose to undertake it, requires you to infiltrate Little Lockford, retrieve the security key, and use it to power down the automatons. You are also empowered to stop Tixie Topworth from doing further harm to the town. Start by meeting with the town's mayor, Braith Broadfoot. She's waiting for you in the caves outside the gates of Little Lockford. Good luck, operatives. And when you close the music box, the key vanishes.
This is for real, right? It sounds quite humorous. Tixie Cockworth, Snurflimblet. These are really big words.
Yeah, what is a Smurf Melvin anyway?
Smurf Melvin.
I saw one.
I don't think there wasn't one named Melvin.
Smurf? Smurf Melvin.
We've seen some strange things. We're not going to see strange things yet.
All right.
All right. Well, you head back to. Go ahead.
Let us venture forth then.
Yay! All right, you go back to the usual house, the base house, and you see Humboldt out front, leaning back on a lawn chair type thing, reading a magazine or something. And he sees you walking up, puts it away, opens the door for you, and then follows you in. And what? You say something?
Where's the party? So we haven't converted stuff. I wanted to say I would like to at least look for if anyone is selling mithril plate in Sigil just to get that started, but it also depends on if the party is willing to part with party gold for.
Well, that's why I asked, because like there's a few days, maybe upwards of a week before you get this next key. So you go back. So you go back to regular life as you know it. If you would like to make me an investigation roll as you start putting the feelers out there to see if anybody has such an item.
Okay.
Nope. Nobody you talk to has any idea where you would even begin to start shopping.
In fact, they probably sent you in the wrong direction.
Like, yeah, the end of well sounds great. Go there. Like, wait, what? You ubiquitous wayfarer. Oh. You ask people, you get led astray a couple times, you spend 3 days in the relentless pursuit of mithril plate, only to find out that the lead that you were given is a set of dining china made out of mithril. It's like, well, that's great. It's a mithril plate, but that's not what I was after. And this is literally like you're going down side alleys talking to shady characters in the streets and stuff like that. And finally you trace it, and it's like, this is it? There's not even enough mithril here to make a single chess piece. You thought the price was sounding really good. It's like, only 300 gold for mithril plate? This is amazing.
Who's selling it?
It was a pit fiend. He got a divorce and he didn't want it anymore because it reminded him of his
dainty mithril set of.
Yes. Well, it was his. It was his Tenari wife's, and it reminds him too much of her. So he, he wanted to get rid of it. In fact, when you don't buy it from him, he's a little offended. He wanted 300 for it. He'll take 250. But luckily, it doesn't break up to a nasty fight.
It might work as a shield, but I already have a shield.
That is one of the weird things about sigils. You will see pit fiends and people like that just walking about conducting business.
Mm-hmm.
You sure you don't want it?
Bargain.
That's what she said.
Maybe you can get it cheaper.
250, you say? I wonder if Gunnar has an eye for a good deal.
250, that's the best I got.
Okay, there, gems and shit converting. Wow.
Make a persuasion roll.
Can I first, how would I appraise how much I could potentially sell for?
Ooh. Just give me a straight intelligence roll.
Okay. This ought to be good.
All right. From a quick examination, it looks like genuine mithril. So, for the amount of mithril there, you don't think... You think you can maybe get about 200 for it. If you were just selling it as mithril. I mean, it's got like etched filigrees along the rims and stuff like that, so it's fine china. So if you found a buyer that wanted it for what it is, it might be worth more than 200, but just for raw materials, it's only about 200 gold worth of mithril, in your estimation.
Okay. Still something. I suppose I will offer 225, perhaps.
Deal. Cash only up front.
Good thing I said 225 because that's enough that I have. Okay, yeah, I'll hand him 225 gold pieces.
All right, it disappears into his giant hand.
Thanks for doing business with you.
Like
Fuck a bitch.
And then he storms off. Well, not storms off, he just kind of happily walks away. It's disconcerting seeing a pit fiend with a genuine smile of happiness on his face.
Well, I hope things go better for you and you find someone better.
Yeah, there's plenty of women out there. Yeah. I am important. I do mean something. Thanks. You're a good guy.
Thanks, you too. Wait, maybe not.
Yeah.
Wait, is it offensive to pit fiend is a good guy?
I don't know.
Generally speaking.
Take it back.
Hey, you take that back.
I'll have you know quite awful.
Are you going to try to flip it? Or are you going to hold on to it? What do you know with your mithril plate?
I suppose I will shop around for prices looking for like an actual to wood and pay full price for it.
Alright, make an investigation roll.
And hope it goes a little better.
Alright. You find a china shop type place. But when you take out the mithril plate, he's like, hey, are you with that pit fiend?
No, why do you ask?
I'm going to tell you the same thing I told him. I'm not paying a penny over 200 for this. I mean, look at that shoddy craftsmanship. That's garbage.
I probably don't know much about the craftsmanship itself. Oh, you think so, eh? Who do you think made it?
I don't know, but it's garbage. Look at it. Look, and he's trying to explain to you. Yeah, the line work here is really bad. I mean, on this side, he obviously was doing a good job, and then he lost the pattern over here. You can see the imperfection, and then this right here. Make an insight roll.
Insight.
Yeah. He's exaggerating a little bit.
Oh, you really think it's that bad, eh? Considering an amount of mithril, raw mithril on its own would be 200.
What do you know about mithril?
Oh, a little something.
Make a
Oh, that's
persuasion roll.
something.
Okay. He's like, well, if, even if it's only worth 200, and I just that's what I offered you, right? 200. So where's the problem?
And so you don't think the craftsmanship adds anything to the value?
Make another insight roll.
BRBGG.
Okay. So as you're trying to hawk it, you start to get the idea that he's starting to behave like maybe he's got you, like maybe you're going to sell it to him for 200, and a little bit of eagerness slips out of his voice, and that gives you the impression that maybe it is worth more, but he's hoping to get himself a deal.
Well, if that's the case, then I suppose I might as well smelt it down myself.
Whoa, now hold on. That's not what I said. All right, 225.
Well, that's already what I paid, so again.
So what do you want for it then? What are you asking?
I'll kind of take a look at him and... 300.
Make a persuasion roll. I'll give you a 250.
I mean, it is 25 gold, but still. Well, I'll consider it, but I'll see what some other people have to say first.
All right, make a persuasion or deception roll, whichever is better for you. Or unless you, if you're really talking about actually finding somewhere else, it'd be persuasion. But if you're just trying to bluff your way out the door, you can roll deception instead. Okay. He says, fine, but you're not going to find it at a price.
I think I'll try to incite that.
You get the impression that he thinks you're just bluffing and you're going to be back.
Kind of. Well, we'll see.
Don't forget where I am when you change your mind.
I'll try not to.
Tell the pit feed I said hi.
Well, if I ever see him again.
Yeah, I knew it.
Maybe it's better if I don't, but...
Nobody trusts
Yes,
you.
sir.
You sigil.
No, Chris said he never met the pit feed, and then he just said, if I see him again. So the shopkeeper said, I knew it.
Oh, well, you made it sound like I was working for him. Whatever.
You're not?
No,
I assume he put you up to this.
no,
Did he sell it to you?
yeah,
What did he sell it to you for?
225.
Ha! I could have got it for 225. 275, that's my final offer.
I'll take another look at the craftsmanship like I'm considering. I'll look back at him, consider how long would it take to melt down and actually make some mithril plate, and say, all right, 275 it is.
Deal. And it takes him a while to count it out, but you watch him count it out, make sure it's all there, and he gives you 275, and he takes the mithril plates, and there's just a smile across his face as he takes them from you.
Oh, worth that much, eh?
It'll go to a good home, I promise you. So you just find out that the evil mithril plates of so-and-so, and they're like this horrible conjuring device that summons demons from... No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, the shopkeeper's just gonna be eating dinner on them later.
Yeah, right? With a... yes! Thank you, EJ. Cutscene. Shopkeeper goes home to his new Tanari girlfriend. And he says, I got him, babe!
Oh, jeez.
I got your plates back!
What race is the shopkeeper?
Human.
Oh.
He finds it hot.
Humans will bet at anything, so
Yes!
makes sense.
Checks out.
Ouch!
Okay, now we can fast forward back to where we were. After that little side diversion. No, it was fun. I like it. Thank you for giving me something else to do. There was a lot of dead air going on, just a lot of me talking. So when you meet up with Humboldt, I didn't stop to think of something wild and crazy, but he takes you to a section of Sigil with some known established portals. He looks across you and he goes, one of you is from the Flanaeus, right? Isn't that how it's pronounced? Flanaeus?
That would be me.
Well, then you should be familiar with this place.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, this portal's going to put you out, I think it's a mile and a half south of insert mountain range here that I'll look up later. There's an entrance to the Underdark there. It's pretty well traveled, actually, because the Surf Neblins here have some trade with the Surfacers. So you shouldn't find any issues getting down into Little Lockford.
Little Lockford.
So just right through here, he says, and he does the thing with the stuff, and the portal opens. And you step through it, and sure enough, you find yourself just before dawn, it looks like. You're not sure, but there's that blue line along the horizon. It's black sky, but there's just that creep. It's either just before dawn or just after dusk, but it doesn't take long for you to realize the sun is on its way up. And as it does so, the landscape is illuminated. You see that you're on the edge of a small wood, and you can see mountains to the direction that you presume is north. And it's not a very long walk. And you do see some signs, some little posts in the ground that says Little Lockford in it points. And it leads you to a cave. And the tunnels to the settlement are well traveled and easy to navigate. Stone signs illuminated by continual flame spells can be found at every junction, pointing the way to Little Lockford. I should change the music. This is too happy. We need... You find a as you're following the paths, you see what looks like a makeshift settlement has sprung up on the road on the way to Little Lockford. And you see a bunch of in the caves, yep. And you see some tents and some, makeshift, semi-permanent looking buildings, and a lot of gnomes wandering about.
Regular gnomes or snurf nibblings?
They're snurf nibblings. And if you try to go through the town, somebody stops you and says, "Oh, no, it's not safe. Sorry, town's off limits right now. Not nice to meet you, surfacers, but you'd best turn back."
Why is the town not safe?
You best speak to the mayor. I don't know if it's at liberty to say, but it's just not safe. That's all I got for you.
Where's the mayor?
You point over to one of the more permanent-looking buildings. And you head over that way, I assume?
Does this look like the place we need to be?
Yep.
Well, I believe the message said to start by meeting the town's mayor, Braith Broadfoot, waiting for you in the caves outside the gates of Little Lockford.
Let's go back there.
So you head over, and there's a couple armed Swerfneblin out front. They look you up, look you up and down, and say, "You the surfacers from the vault?
That'd be us.
Mayor's waiting for you inside."
Then you better let us in, I guess.
All right. Well, they open the door then, and you walk in, and you see a female gnome wearing what looks like a business attire. Gnome wearing. Wearing a like a business suit, like a Hillary Clinton style pantsuit, looking all official. Sitting behind a desk that was obviously hastily dragged out of Little Lockford to be put in this makeshift building. And she's sitting down.
How low does Gunnar have to stoop to actually get into the building?
Pretty low, actually, yeah. You have to crouch down. And when you notice when you first walk in, she's not doing anything, but as soon as she sees that she has visitors, she quickly starts looking at paperwork on her desk like she's very important. And she looks up, sighs as she pushes her paperwork away in an overly dramatic fashion. And she says, "Oh, you must be the help that was sent to help us." That's whatever. I can't tell you how pleased we are that you're here. We've sealed the gates of Little Lockford to contain the threat that has claimed so many innocent lives. As you may have been informed, some weeks ago, Talkworth, our security overseer, ordered her clockwork automatons to attack her fellow citizens. Not knowing what else to do, I ordered an evacuation. But Little Lockford is our home, and I am determined to reclaim it. It is an election year, after all.
You didn't get any healers to, check her brain or whatever, see if there's any reason why she did this?
Well, she went very hostile and started attacking everyone around her, so it would be difficult to conduct such a test. Talkworth built a failsafe device to shut down the automatons in the event of a malfunction. This was before she went crazy. The device is in her workshop, protected by magical symbols on the floor that mess with the mind of any creatures that set foot on it. To activate the failsafe, you will need the security key that Talkworth keeps in a safe in her workshop. We need you to retrieve the key and shut down the clockwork automatons. How you deal with Talkworth is up to you. We have this map for you. It is a hand-drawn map of the town. There are some useful items hidden under my other desk in the town hall. You are free to claim the items for yourself if you can get to them. I was not able to grab them in my rush to get out of Little Lockford. In that stash, there are 4 potions of healing, 2 flasks of alchemical fire, and a packet of dust of disappearance. If you can get to them, they should prove helpful to you. I don't know if the map actually says where that location is. Let's see. Now, the direction you would come into Little Lockford is from the upper left into Old Lockford. Do you have any questions for me?
How many of these automatons are there?
I do not remember how many exactly. Quite a few. But they are spread out across Little Lockford. So hopefully you won't ever encounter more than 4 at a time.
How big are they?
They're decently large. Hold on. The overseers are tiny. They're more spies and overseers than anything else. And the defenders are medium-sized.
Okay.
So humanish sized.
Right.
Alright, so break into the security center. Get the key. Activate the failsafe.
Yes. Seems simple enough, right? Then surely you can handle it.
I mean, the map is pretty detailed.
How dangerous is this, Talkworth, was it? Herself?
She is... Hold on, let me look.
Why did she do what she did?
This is a mystery even to us. Maybe the act of whatever she's doing with machineries that makes her so good at her job eventually caused her to crack, I suppose. She is she doesn't have a class, so it's hard to know what she would describe her as. She's a skilled combatant. She can hold her own in a fight. So, I mean, there are 5 of you, maybe, depending on if he can focus with that scourge on his shoulder, but the rest of you seem to be attentive. Or he just stayed outside the door for now, which also works. So the 4 of you seem to be more than skillful enough to handle one. Well, she was our chief of security, so... And she generally surrounds herself with combat machines.
Are these portions of the map, are they caves or are they like... I feel like there's open air in here. They're like the top of...
Yes! It
type.
is 5, 6 floating islands. Not floating, but they're plateaus overlooking a lava pool. And there is a series of pulleys and buckets that go from platform to platform that are...
The red thing?
Yes, and they are potentially rideable. They are always moving. I think they move, and then they stop, and they move, and then they stop for loading and unloading. It's mostly for passing ore and constructed materials from one section of the city to another, but they can be used in a pinch to get yourself around the island. islands.
It's got an Iron Forge kind of vibe.
Yeah. I'm looking at the actual map right now versus comparing it to the little map you guys get, which is kind of cool. The road leading into Little Lockford to Old Lockford is kind of above the town itself. So when you first walk in, you'll be able to see the landscape kind of spread out before you. So if she says, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me, or any more questions. When you're ready, I will have the guards unlock the gates, and they will let you in.
So these bridges can be raised and lowered, yeah?
Yes, some of them can. There are a few that are permanent, but the main ones, from Old Lockford to the Cave Mouth area, and from Cave Mouth to Smolder Town, and from Smolder Town to Turbine Heights, those can be raised and lowered.
Is it the ones that are dotted can be lowered?
I have to look at your little map again. Yes, yep. The ones that are dotted are raised and lowerable. Yep.
And what is this backup bridge?
Or retracted, not raised. They're actually retractable. Because it says on the bottom of your map, all bridges can be retracted as a safety measure. What was your other question?
What is this backup bridge controls?
Where is that?
In the power station.
This is a very small map.
On Turbine Heights.
Oh, here we go. Turbine Heights, guys, backup bridge controls here. Ooh, good question. She calls in somebody from outside. She's like, "Hey, get in here!" Somebody from the city watch or whatever comes in. Let's see, bridge switches. That's where all the bridges are controlled from.
So if they are retracted, we can put them out from there.
Correct. The individual bridges themselves also have controls at them, but this is a backup override system where they can all be raised or lowered on its switches. And they can override the bridges from here.
Okay.
As a security precaution if we need to lock down the cave mouth region, for example. Not that we ever have before, mind you.
Does the security center have an override for the bridges, or just the...
Not the bridges. That is controlled to machines themselves.
And is this Talkworth a wizard, or...
She has a few spells at her disposal, but she is not a wizard per se.
Okay.
And GM note, I don't know if that's because all Smurf Goblins have these spells, or if it's just unique to her character, but she has a few spells. She says casting is not her primary means of combat.
I see. So
She can. She has lightning charged weaponry, and she likes to hit people. Sure. And again, her. She's usually working with machines.
are these
Here we go.
magical or?
They're powered by a combination of magic and mechanical apparatus that Tixie is particularly skilled at. Just to fuel Majesty's concept of, is this a joke? It's a nice little clockwork music playing now.
Oh gosh, what is that town called?
Mechagon.
Yeah, that's... Wait, no. The original one.
Nomergon?
Nomergon, yeah.
Nomergon. This is your Nomergon Golden Vault adventure.
Yeah. Remind me of that.
I'm gonna have to find some battle maps for any encounters that happen in the streets because I have key locations and the over map. I don't have like potential random encounter fights or robots you meet in the alleyways and stuff. So I'll have to figure that out. Any more questions before she opens the gate and lets you through?
That sounds pretty straightforward.
Do you have any enemies who might have caused this strange stage season?
We always have run-ins with the Drow further down, but this doesn't seem like their MO. Tixie was a friend, but she killed at least a half dozen of our people while we were trying to evacuate, so I don't know what happened. I hope she can be redeemed, but at this point, I don't know.
Tempo picked up.
Yeah, it's just called Arcane Clockworks is the name of this track.
Oh,
Turn it down a little bit.
here comes the boss.
Yep. I love trying to find a track that I'm only going to use for each specific heist because it works and it sets that tone.
Mhm.
Like the one from the prison, Outpost 31, that was really good music.
Well, we'll see what we can do and see if we can get her alive.
Very good. Remember, my office, special equipment. Did she point out where it was? Or does it say on the map?
It says on the map, emergency health potions underneath my desk.
Okay. That's right in Old Lockford, right?
Yep, in the town
I
hall.
think. Yeah, okay.
Oh. Reminds me I should ask, what is so dangerous about the infirmary?
Sorry, I need to look at your map again.
That you label at your own risk.
Yep, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Infirmary. Why can't I find it? Oh, infirmary at your... Ah, yeah, okay. So it's over there.
I was thinking it was the hallway that enter at your own risk, but okay.
Let me see, what is that location? There were some automatons that killed some people there. That was where a couple of the kills were more brutal.
Oh, I see.
Just be careful. I would say that we'll send help if you need it, but my people are pretty shaken. And we've been told that you are a good team of infiltrators and can get this done with Well, I was going to say minimal casualties, but you'll be the only casualties. Because all your opponents will be machines. Please don't feel bad about destroying any of the machinery. We can always have it fixed later or replaced. Don't fall in the lava.
Is it soft, squishy lava?
It is soft, squishy, very hot lava, yes. You will not take fall damage, but you will take lava damage.
Fire damage. Well, I have fire resistance, so
You will take... Oh, then you'll only take half of the 10d10 fire damage around.
yeah.
Only half.
Only half! It will still only take a couple rounds to kill you.
Right.
So just keep jumping as you swim.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It works in Molten Core.
So it's just a little more agonizing for you.
Yeah. A little slower. A little barbecue. Well, with that, she leaves the office with you, and the guards fall and step behind, and she walks over to the gate and pulls out this overly dramatic extra large key and unlocks the front gate and swings it open and wishes you luck as you step through into a vast cavern. And I will put you over here.
Gunnar will equip his mithril chainmail.
And I will stop here at 9 o'clock. Because that way we can jump right in next time. I'll have to look and see what your map actually shows you, but it should just be an overview of town. You see that pulley work moving every so often? See these big buckets you could easily fit inside? From here, you don't immediately see any automatons or anything moving around. But that doesn't mean they're not there. But yes, I will stop right here.